Well, I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and get started while we wait. We'll probably have some more people join, but I want to be mindful of everybody's time. And first off, I just want to thank everybody for being on this board with us, this roundtable discussion about manufacturing in our region. We're supporting Manufacturing Day. And what I would like to do is I would like to advance my slide, but it won't let me. What the heck? There we go. It was just asleep. Manufacturing Day was created in 2012, and SAMA has been supporting Manufacturing Day, and it's designed to address common misperceptions about manufacturing by giving manufacturers an opportunity to open their doors and show in a coordinated effort what manufacturing is and what manufacturing is not. And so in support of that, we had our Manufacturing Day last Friday, and we had 4 virtual tours. And Bill Cox, I want to say thank you for participating in that. Mary Batch for participating in that. Your videos were fantastic. They were just superb for Cox Manufacturing, Toyota. M2 Global was also in that, as was Alamo Group in Seguin. So thank you all very much. What I'd like to do now is introduce our panelists. Number one, I'm Ray Chavez. I'm the president and CEO of the San Antonio Manufacturers Association, and I will be your moderator for today. With us today, we have Bill Cox, president and CEO of Cox Manufacturing Company. We've got Mary Batch, manager, talent management from Toyota Motor Manufacturing, Texas, Inc. We have Katherine Sanchez-Rocha, executive director for Alamo Academies, and Jason Vasowski, director of operations for A. Alberts Dispensing Technologies. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it to help us out with that. And I hope we get some good questions from our folks that are attending. And on that note, I'll ask the first question, and it's really to everybody that's online with us right now. What is your perception of what manufacturing is? I mean, anybody got an idea? And the reason why I asked that is because I want to understand what you all think manufacturing factories and plants look like. Any idea from anybody? Anybody want to take a chance?
Hey, I can jump in and answer that. This is Karen with Joyson Safety Systems. So Joyson is the first manufacturing plant that I have ever seen or worked at. And when I first interviewed for it, I pictured manufacturing like they showed on the movies from back in the day during the Depression, where it's just dark and grimy and people are manually, putting stuff in boxes, and they're doing a whole lot of manual lifting. And it was just a minimal skill set kind of job, kind of one of those jobs you take because you got to take the bills. And now I see that it's so far from that. There's so many different opportunities inside manufacturing, and it was just eye-opening. I mean, almost 5 years later, and I'm still like a little kid at a candy store looking at how the automation is moving forward and how much better the environment is becoming for the employees that actually do the manual production making of our parts and processes. It's, like I said, a big change from my initial thoughts of what manufacturing was and what I see that it actually is.
Well, thank you, Karen. That's a good answer to that. A lot of people have their impressions that manufacturing plants are dirty, they're old, they're of yesteryear. You're shoveling coal in a furnace and it's all dirty on the floor, obnoxious fumes, noise, everybody's crowded. That was way back in the day. And as you can see by this picture here, this is not what manufacturing is anymore. That is of yesteryear. And to be quite honest, it wasn't that bad that long ago. But we find that right now, especially with the young people, they have no idea what manufacturing plants look like. And their parents, Karen, like you said, kind of convey that, you know, manufacturing is not the job for you because it's in a bad environment, which it's not. This is what come on, slide and advance. This is what manufacturing is like. It's clean. We're talking about machines. This is advanced technology where individuals are having to punch in information into machines that would go ahead and do the creation of a product for that. And this is a Swiss Nano machine that is at Bill Cox, I believe this is at your location. Bill, can you give us a little information about your manufacturing plant and how well you all keep it clean?
Sure. Well, we're a specialist in high volume machining of small precision parts. And I say small, most of our machines are actually from Switzerland, and that line of machines was originally developed for the watch industry. And we have some larger machines that go up to 2.5 inch in diameter. But as you can see, this technician, he's making an adjustment through the control. The typical machines on our line, they're networked together to our server, and the technician will monitor the process and maintain the process to assure it constantly is producing high quality parts. And it's a very automated environment. The raw material is robotically loaded, and the operator, you know, commonly will go for lunch, or even will run machines over the weekend with the lights out for a few hours. So it's highly automated.
Great, thank you, Bill. Appreciate that. And just so we got more people that just joined us right now, we've already started, but let me lay down some ground work for how we're going to operate this this roundtable discussion. If you have questions, please use the chat box. And then when we do get to the point where we can do some open questions, all I ask is that you use the icon, the little emoji on your Zoom, and raise your hand so that way you can be recognized. I have Michelle Moriarty. She'll be reading the questions when we get to that certain point from the chat box. If not, if somebody's going to be asking a physical question, I have Rosie Ortiz online too, that she'll be able to address your question for you. On that note, Bill, thank you for the explanation on the machines and what they are. But for everybody's knowledge, and we do have the Shirt Cibolo Universal City ISD, Amy Massey's on board. Amy, welcome to our roundtable discussion. We're going over through some of the concepts, misperceptions of many who think that manufacturing plants are old and dirty, and they're not. This is picture that you see is where we're at today. In addition to that, the automation and robotics is now coming into the manufacturing. In fact, it's been there for quite a while. You'll see that this is the Caterpillar line in Seguin. This is a mile-long assembly line in which all the machines just move down the line, and each station, there's a component put onto the engine, and it goes all the way to the end for final testing. This is a weld robot that is used, I believe, in Toyota. And this is really good. It gives very precision weld points to a lot of components and parts to make sure that they are staying together well. So this is the automation and the robotics that are in the manufacturing plants today. And it's very important to know that for folks to be able to get into these types of positions, there is a lot of aptitude that they need to have to be able to do some of this work. So why are we going through a lot of these things to talk about manufacturing? Well, according to the National Association of Manufacturers, And some of us were talking before we started our roundtable. There are a lot of jobs open in manufacturing. There's a lot of open positions in our region, but from a national perspective, the open jobs in manufacturing number around 900,000, 4 million expected jobs to be filled by 2030. And like I said, nationally in our region too, manufacturers are having to accelerate efforts to attract and support manufacturing talent. And that's where we're at today. And that's why we want to have this roundtable discussion, to be able to convey that careers in manufacturing are really quite beneficial and profitable for individuals. And so that's what we're going to be working on here. You have manufacturing plants all over, every corner of every city in the United States. This is just a random sampling of what we have going on in our region. You've got Cibolo that's got manufacturing plants, Helotes, you've got Seguin, you've got San Antonio, and I mean, they're just all over the place. And so all these manufacturers are needing to have employees, they need to have candidates. And so that's why we're here to discuss a lot of things, is because we want to inspire the next generation of young people to get into manufacturing. And so at this point, what I would like to do is really turn this over to our manufacturers and let them talk a little bit about their companies and what they do, and then turn over to Katherine and to Mary to talk about Alamo Academies, and Mary with Toyota, and also the Texas Vein program. These are pipelines that folks need to know about, that can help maybe get kids into that area. Additionally, there are a lot of other programs that are ongoing right now that we can discuss. So Bill, can I ask you to just go ahead and start us off? Tell us a little bit about you and your company.
Well, I already spoke a little bit about it. We're a contract manufacturer. We've been in business here in San Antonio for 65 years. I'm actually the third family member to lead the business. The business was founded by my father. Unfortunately, he started having heart attacks at a young age, and he did have a fatal one when I was 12. My mom, however, had prepared herself for that outcome, and she was in a position to continue the business. We had about a dozen employees at the time, and actually she asked me when I was 12 years old, am I interested in doing this, or should she consider selling the business? And I affirmed that I was absolutely interested, and so I kind of got groomed for that job. I took every shop class I could. My mom started teaching me how to read financial statements when I was 12 years old. The office side was always at our house. And so my mom taught me the office side. And then I had guys in the shop that mentored me to learn the shop floor operations. By the time I got involved full-time, the company actually had grown to 18 employees. And today we have about 189. So I've worked for many, many years with my mom. She passed away about 17 years ago, but have fond memories of working alongside her. And now my oldest son has joined the business, and he's being groomed for leadership as well. My whole career, honestly, U.S. manufacturing has been under attack with cheap, low-cost imports, but we've managed to fight the good fight and stay in the game and grow the business. And we think there's a great future, especially now, because that's really turning around. People have come to realize the value of and the critical importance of manufacturing things domestically. So my company, just for example, we're a contract manufacturer. So we supply components for a wide range of industries. Now, automotive and trucking is actually our biggest sector, but we also do a significant amount, about 15% in medical devices, electronics. We do also firearms. We do aerospace. A nice diversity in industries, the oil industry. It's been fun. I enjoy it, and it's never boring.
Thank you, Bill. That is an awesome story. And I echo what Katie Chain just put out on the chat box, that this is great to hear family-owned businesses. They're the best. Katie, thank you for the comments. And Bill, that's from Katie. So very, very nice. So at this time, can I get Mary to maybe talk a little bit about Toyota?
Absolutely, I'd be glad to. So Toyota Motor Manufacturing, Texas, in San Antonio, is located on the south side of San Antonio. We have a campus that not only is us, but we have 23 on-site suppliers. So there's over 7,000 employees on the campus. And we make the absolutely best ever Toyota truck, which is the Toyota Tundra. And the new one is actually going to be coming out soon. And it's absolutely amazing. But I'm going to tell you some things about manufacturing, and in that setting is that it is probably one of the most rewarding things that I've ever done. And just to go off key a little bit here is that all the technology that you enjoy, every bit of it, nearly every object you use or wear, and many of the foods that you eat are manufactured. You know, we have our HEB partner on the call today, and all of those things are being manufactured. And creating products requires a lot of people with a variety of skills and interests, working with a team of people. So this is really what it's all about. If manufacturing stopped, our nation would stop. And that's one of the biggest things about it. And as you've seen in the picture, we had our robots there, and you're probably looking, oh man, that looks very dangerous. But really the jobs that we have where we have those robots working is where we don't want our team members working, because that's a lot of fast pace, and that is the dirty part of it. So we have team members that are assisting on the outside, but not actually doing those robots. Now we do have what we call collaborative robots in the plant, where now you can actually work alongside a robot, which is pretty cool. And it's really, really amazing to be involved in the design and technology and the products and everything within the manufacturing environment. It's very exciting, it's very fast paced and very clean. And the reason why it's clean is because we want everybody to stay safe. And the only way you're going to do that is making sure that you have a place for everything and everything is cleaned up. But for Toyota, I mean, we're excited about being here in San Antonio and excited about manufacturing and those key components and stuff like that. So more to come, but that's the only thing. We're not like Bill. Bill makes a whole lot of different things, and he probably even makes things for us to help support building that truck. Back to you, Ray.
Thank you so much, Mary. That's awesome. And just so everybody knows, in our region, reaches all the way from Fredericksburg to Castroville, out to Seguin, New Braunfels. There are about over 1,500 manufacturers in our region, and 80% of those manufacturers are small to medium size, meaning that they have 100 employees or less. And so they're the backbone of our economic impact in this region, because they provide a lot of great jobs, and they provide a lot of products for the folks that are asking for those products. And so on that note, I'd like to have Jason Visowski, who works for A. Alberts Dispensing Technologies, maybe just say a little bit something about A. Alberts as one of the small to medium-sized manufacturers.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Ray. Yeah, my name is Jason Wazowski. I'm the Director of Operations here at Taprite. We're a subsidiary of Alberts Dispense Technologies, which is based in Holland. So we're actually a global company. We've been here in San Antonio for about 45 years, making parts for the food and beverage industry. So we make regulators. So we assemble regulators here in town. We also make, and I know a lot of people know what they are, is the bar gun. So I know a lot of people are familiar with the actual dispensing equipment that you see at a restaurant or a bar. So there's two manufacturers in the United States, actually in the globe, that make these. One's in California and one's right here in San Antonio, TapRite. So anytime you go to a restaurant or bar, look for us. But yeah, we actually manufacture that from scratch. We manufacture the handle, we CNC machine each plate, they get bonded together and then assembled over here at our facility. So we have the full gamut of manufacturing jobs. We go from the person on the assembly line assembling the parts all the way up to technicians, up to CNC technicians, to laser operators. So yeah, we do pretty much anything and everything for the food and beverage industry. And it's a great place to work. It's a very clean environment to work, and it's dynamic. We're always changing. So we have a whole engineering department to redesign the parts, and yeah, it's a fun place. So
Awesome. Thank you, Jason. Really appreciate that. And not to put Katie Chain on the spot, but since she's with us, how about a little bit of information on HEB? And here's, if you could just give us a little information about what your HEB does on the manufacturing side.
Okay, so you are putting me on the spot, Ray, because I wasn't planning on talking, but so yeah, so we have multiple manufacturing plants really across the state, most of them here in San Antonio. Of course, we were a family-owned business, started in 1905, and now we've grown to, you know, this amazing business with 137,000 partners that work with us across Texas and Mexico. You know, we manufacture all the way from ice cream to potato chips. I'm sure you guys have all tried some of our own brand products, which, you know, we really put them up against a national brand and make the best brand, the best product we can, so that we can offer those, you know, with lower prices to our customers based on the national brand, you know, price. But yeah, we have multiple manufacturing plants. We're starting to build just warehouses, if you will, to get product across the state. You know, going into Plano and Frisco next year is really forcing us to kind of figure out, you know, how can we get products there quicker? Because, you know, we have our own truck drivers as well. And as you guys know, I'm sure all of you know, the workforce is just, you know, all over the place right now. And, you know, we can't even find truck drivers, let alone, you know, partners to work in our manufacturing plant. So we're feeling the pressure from all careers really, that we're struggling to fill. But yeah, you know, we have our own advanced manufacturing technicians, which we work with the Texas FAME program. That has been a phenomenal program for us. We've been able to hire, you know, 5 to 9 partners every year that are coming out of that program. And we put them in all of our plants, and it's been fantastic. So we've really had to look at creative ways to find partners for all of our companies. So anytime we see a new program that could benefit us, we jump into that and figure out how we can get involved and how we can get those partners. You know, Alamo Academies is, you know, a great program that fits into, you know, the Texas FAME program. But yeah, I mean, we've got all kinds of equipment. We have a meat plant, ice cream plant, potato chip plant, bread plant, bakery plant. I mean, you name it, we have it. And it's just been very difficult to keep those positions filled. So part of the reason I'm here is so I can learn from you guys and see if there's anything that we're not doing that we could be doing to help us fill those positions. Is that what you wanted, Ray?
Katie, that is awesome. That is exactly on point. You did great. That is fantastic to tell us that. And just as a trivia, just for everybody to know, the largest manufacturer in our region is HEB. So just they're the largest. So they're doing a fantastic job. So as we hear the stories from our manufacturers, you know, talent is one of the things that they're trying to find, and they're trying to get people to come in and to work. And so what I would like to do is just basically go over a couple of things that, not a couple of things, but some entities that we're working with to help that pipeline. Of course, this is a long-range training, I should say long-term training program that's about 2 years, but it's something that employers, and for the employers and the staff and agencies that are online, it's important to know there are these pipelines that we use to help bring individuals into the manufacturing arena. So on that note, what I would like to do is really start off with the Alamo Academies. Katherine, you're with us. Can you give us a little bit of your insights about what's going on with your candidates and training and getting them into manufacturing? Katherine, still there?
Katherine, you're muted. Sorry.
I see that. Thank you. So for Alamo Academies, we're the dual credit piece on the high school side. Students from that enter into our program, they go into one of 5 programs, and advanced manufacturing is one of them. It is a 2-year program of study. They are able to earn some industry first certifications like OSHA 10 and MSSC safety and quality. So that when they go out into the workforce, that gives them one more foot in the door. Both of our manufacturing program leads to either an Associate of Applied Science for CNC manufacturing or automated industrial processes. The cool thing about our program is that they come in their junior year, they take courses at St. Philip's College. Between their junior and senior year, they have a paid internship with companies such as, I know Katie mentioned HEB, Toyota, GW Plastics, just Joyson, just to name a few. There are many more. And then they come back in their senior year, and then they take some advanced classes. And then, the companies that they've worked with during their internship have the opportunity to hire them after high school. So it's a really unique, interesting program. Students, we're a pull system. So that means that our numbers that we bring in are based on how many intern slots we have. And so that keeps our numbers small because, it's a tough world out there. And so, but yeah, that's just a little bit about the academies. I could say a whole lot more, but I'll just stop right there and turn it back over to you, Ray.
Hey, thank you very much, Katherine. And we'll have time to be discussing a lot of other things. There's going to be a lot of questions. I'm already seeing the chat box. They're coming up with questions. So at this time, maybe Mary, can you talk to us about Texas Fame and Texas Fast?
Oh my God, Texas Fame. It's the best program in the world. So a little bit about it. So how this got started was it's the Advanced Manufacturing Technician Program, which we call AMT, which Katie was referring to. We've been doing this since 2013 within Toyota, and it is recognized by the Department of Labor as an apprenticeship, which is really good because it means that they're really learning a lot and they have a lot of skills that they have to be able to demonstrate. It is a pipeline for highly skilled manufacturing workers. It is our #1 pipeline for hires. It is the first place we go to hire from this group. They do receive a 2 years associate's degree program. It's a very rigorous program. It's it's for 2 years, and what's amazing about it is that what you're learning in the classroom is aligned with what you're learning in the manufacturing environment. So you're gaining that knowledge at the same time that you're getting your degree. And that degree, when you go and fill out your resume, if you don't get hired right away, so not too many of them have an opportunity to actually go out and interview for other jobs. But if they do, then they can actually say, I have this 2-year degree, but guess what? I also have about 2,500 hours of work experience that goes along with it. Whereas most degrees, you can't have that. So that's really amazing about this. And this is how we all came together. We are a group of about 10 companies now, and we all work really hard in this. The companies work really hard. So it's a true partnership. And the Texas Fast program, it is a 9-week program, but we've actually extended it to 12 weeks. So we can add some additional type of things to it to ensure the success of the student that's actually going through that. We have it open for incumbent workers or somebody that's in there trying to upskill or learn a new trade. There is some math skills assessments that has to be done based on the aptitude. We'll see which pathway that they actually fit in. Scientific management techniques are, it is a program where we actually were able to buy the trainers and their curriculum, and along with the skills assessments with it. So it's a very well-known group of individuals and programs, and we've had some pretty good success with this as well. primarily what we're doing right now is we're training incumbent workers, which is a worker that's already with a manufacturing plant that wants to change their career within that manufacturing setting. So really that's what it is in a nutshell, AMT program and the FAST program. But one of the things with this here too is that, you know, a career in manufacturing can be very rewarding, and you can be part of a team that uses or invents new processes and materials to make futuristic products using technology that didn't even exist a few years ago. So I just want to put that in there. It's a fast-paced learning environment for either one of the programs we have with AMT or with the Texas FAST. But the key is that you're learning what is needed right now in that manufacturing environment, but you're also they're learning the professional skills, the culture, everything's expected to be the world-class manufacturing technician. Back to you, Ray.
Thank you, Mary. So SAMA has been working for many years with many of our partners to help this pipeline, whether it be for the 2-year programs with Alamo Academies, Texas FAME, or even if it's the boot camp style training with Texas FAST. We're also working with our community partners with Bexar County, the city, and of course, the SA Work program. And so just a little bit about the SA Work program. It's designed to help manufacturers elevate that profile of what manufacturing is, and to help with the trade professions, to get young adults interested in the programs. And there's a much more programs out there other than what we're talking about today, but it's great to be a partner with SA Works to be able to do that, because they're helping us to address those misperceptions and to raise that awareness of what these jobs are. And they've got a campaign going on to help promote manufacturing, helping SAMA get that word out there that careers in manufacturing are great. They've also come on board to say that there's any manufacturers out there, as with SAMA, you know, they'll help find folks to get them into manufacturing jobs. And I would also ask you to, if you're interested in the SA Works organization, please go to their website and you'll be able to find out more information. Stephanie from the Bexar County. Stephanie, did I miss anything with SA Works since you were one of the partners working with us?
Sir, everything sounded perfect.
Okay, thanks. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but we've been putting this thing together. So we've all been talking for, gosh, about 3 weeks straight, just making sure that everything is good to go. But there are other programs out there to I think Mary's got her hand up. Mary, you got something?
Yes, I just want to make a comment on this as well, is that one of the things that you need to think about if you want to partner up with SA Works is that there's a lot of background or backbone pieces that are related to manufacturing, like accounting and finance, safety and security, environmental. You have also your HR components and those type of things. And those could also offer internships, you know, within the manufacturing environment as well, not just the person that's actually out there on the floor, the production worker, or the ones out there solving the problems, or for the advanced manufacturing technicians, but there are other things that they can actually do internships on as well that may not be related to the floor or some of that machinery. Just wanted to add that.
Super. So I wanted to, somebody brought it up to my attention. Is it sawork.org or SW Work? And I just sent out to everybody on the chat box. It's sawork with an X.org. So thanks for bringing that up.
I think the website, or on maybe on the county end, it's SA Works with the X.org is blocked, but greater SATX.com works, and it is SA Works. So that might.
Can you put that in the chat box so that way we have
Yes,
it
sir,
correctly?
I did. Yes, sir.
San Antonio.
Wow. Still working here at the office. So, all right. So let's go ahead and move on. What I would like to do is to start stimulating some questions. We've got some in the chat box, but one question I want to ask, and I'll ask Bill, Jason, your thoughts. But the question that came in that we've been working with is, if an individual, this is from an individual, what do I need to do now to prepare myself to enter a manufacturing job? Jason, Bill, anybody want to go first?
I can jump in. I'm assuming this might be someone who's in high school right now. And I would encourage them to make sure they take full advantage of the high school curriculum that's available. Honestly, so many students come out of high school with gaps in their knowledge that we end up having to do remedial training. There is a minimum level of math that we require that a lot of people don't qualify for our apprenticeship. We also have a 3-year apprenticeship program recognized by the Department of Labor, which when someone completes that, they also do earn 32 college credit hours that will be recognized by a local university that we've partnered with. But just to enter that program, there's a certain baseline knowledge that math skills they need. And it just apply themselves where they are, take every shop class they can. Some of these other programs that are available are great. And don't, certainly math and sciences and shop is important, but also, the English and language skills, those are key things to become a leader in manufacturing too. Your ability for written and oral communication is a key ingredient to be a leader in manufacturing. So if you're in high school right now, I would say make that time count. There's valuable skills you can be learning.
Jason, any follow-up?
Kind of to hit the point home with what Bill was talking about, I always look for our kids who are open and learning. I know having all the skills and all the education from your high school, but when you're getting a manufacturing job, be open to learning. There's so many different avenues within a company, a manufacturing company, that you could branch off. I mean, you could go into assembly, you could go into production, you could go into engineering. But if you're not open to learning and figuring out what the job entails, you won't make it. So no, have an open mind. Also be hungry. I know we talk about that, but we want individuals that really want to do the best they can and strive to do the best they can. And also, I always joke about it, to be punctual. That's one of the biggest things I know that will get, and this goes for any workplace, not just in manufacturing, but be punctual. That's the quickest way to see yourself not working anymore is to not be punctual. So that's usually one of our biggest, what would you call it? Biggest issues that we have, when we get new people. But yeah, no, it's just be hungry, be open to learn.
So that's understandable. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. One of the things that I have been passing on to young students and to young adults as well that are post high school is that you got to have passion and you got to be reliable. Those are some of the key tenets that can help you be successful in what you want to do. Not only if you want a career in manufacturing, but in life in general. Passion and reliability. I think, Katie, you had your hand up, did you not?
Yes, I just wanted to make sure that we talk about incumbent workers as well. And so a lot of, have manufacturing plants, and, the Texas FAME and Texas FAST program is pretty fantastic. If you want to take a current partner or current employee that's really doing well in whatever position they're in at that time, really investing the time to put them through the Texas FAST program, which is obviously a fast program, right? Giving them the skills that they need to advance in the manufacturing world. And so Bexar County has done an amazing job of getting that off the ground. HUB, Toyota, several of us have put partners, incumbent workers through that program, and it's proven to be extremely beneficial and really sets them up to become an advanced manufacturing technician. So I just want to make sure that we do talk about that. We've also put incumbent workers through the Texas FAME program. It's been great because they already have a history with us. We already know they're great partners. They're punctual. They can, they're great for our company. Now we're given the opportunity to grow, make more money, grow a career. So I just want to make sure that we understand that that is an option for all of us, is to really offer that to our current employees to grow a career.
Katie, that's fantastic. And Katie and I have not talked and kind of planned all this stuff out, but she gives us the segue for the next area that we're really, SAMA and a bunch of other manufacturing plants in the area are really pushing for, and that's apprenticeships. That's incumbent workers, but also if an employer is looking to get somebody faster than the 2-year programs, they might want to think about apprenticeships and start training folks the way that they might like it. Bill Cox has got a great apprenticeship program at Cox Manufacturing, has been very successful. Bill, can you just highlight just a couple of points of apprenticeships?
Well, it takes a commitment from the employer, and we're a big fan of it. We have a full-time training coordinator, and the curriculum is composed of some academic and some on-the-job learning. And there's online curriculum that we license, and we pay. It's all a paid apprenticeship. And as an employee crosses different, graduates through different thresholds, then they get defined pay wages and extra bonuses. They get even an extra 1-week vacation bonus on top of the standard. So people know what they have to do to go to the next level, and it's self-paced. You do have to apply yourself. We do pay people to do the online curriculum from home. And of course, we're paying them on the job while they're performing tasks and being instructed to advance their skills.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill. At this time, I think I'm going to stop and let's see if we've got any questions from the chat box. Michelle, may I turn it over to you and see if you've got any questions that we can answer?
Let me unmute myself. So it's more of a statement, I believe, from Richard. It's providing incumbent workers an opportunity for advancement creates retention is extremely important. And then Karen answered that with, we have some of our employees here that we've pushed through Texas FAME and Texas FAST program, and it has been beneficial for us as employees. And I think maybe if we could have Karen kind of respond to that and just kind of give us her insight on how that worked out for them, what that was like for them, partnering with them.
Karen, you still there?
Yes, I'm going. So we've had a couple of our employees go through the Texas FAME program. And again, it was great for them. They started here as their maintenance techs, but when they went through the program, they learned more. And one of them I got really excited about because he got his degree. He's still here, but he decided to further his education and got certified as a welder. That, again, great benefit for him. It's another skill set, but it's a great benefit for us as well, because now instead of outsourcing our welder, we made the investment in the employee and we have him here. For the Tex Fast program, we had some of our production guys go through and upskill. It has them be able to do like the routine maintenance on our machinery and our equipment, which frees up our more skilled maintenance techs to work on the bigger problems. But now I have my production workers, we pay them more, but they're also able to do that basic troubleshooting, skill level 1s on the machinery as well. And now they're interested in going to the FAME program as well. So it's mutually beneficial. One of my guys was here 10 years as a production worker, working in our welding department, and now he's a maintenance tech.
Wow. Awesome.
Okay, I see that Amy has her hand up, but we'll get to you in just 1 second, Amy. I wanted to go back to Roman had a quick question about, it says, hi, we're looking for talented manufacturing engineers and software experts. Does San Antonio have a program for building talent in manufacturing and or a pool to find qualified candidates?
So Roman, I tend to think that's a question you're looking for, and I'm trying to get clarification. You're looking for a pool of candidates of engineers. And you do know that UTSA has an engineering department, as does Trinity University and St. Mary's University. Have you reached out to any of those for candidates?
Yeah, we were able to sync up with UTSA, not so much St. Mary's, but Trinity as well. We worked with students with startups. So we're, just so you know, we're a small business. We are working in the electric vehicle space, but we are a defense contractor. And our intent here is to get talent in electrical engineering, manufacturing, as well as software engineering for our existing engagements in the EV space, electric vehicle space, along with developing products, electronics for our asset trackers. And so we've just been having some difficulties finding, the appropriate talent for these high-tech roles that are highly compensated as well. But yeah, to answer your question, looking for, to not answer your question, sorry, I'm not answering your question, you're answering my question. We have outreach to UTSA, but have not outreach to the other universities that you mentioned.
So let me introduce you to Bill Rafferty. I'll let you all do this offline, but Bill and I in the past we've worked with the Society of Mechanical Engineers. Is that right, Bill Rafferty? That's probably another good pool to maybe take a look at.
Sure, and I'd be happy to try to make some connections as appropriate. So definitely, when you have a moment, shoot me an email. I think, and I'll put it out in the chat box, and then we'll connect up and talk about maybe some other different other avenues that you could explore.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, Amy, you had a question?
I do. I have some questions on like the school district side of it, kind of component coming into kind of bridging that gap between us and the workforce. And one of those is like Texas FAME and Alamo Academies. They're great programs, but we have some students that they're not going to college. So what opportunities are there for those students to come and actually become employees with those companies? And hopefully over time, they're going to gain that interest and want to become part of Texas FAME and those type of programs. But just right now, college is not an option for them. But we do want to get them into the workforce and get them exposed to that and into this field. What do you recommend coming on that side for school districts to look at?
Anybody want to tackle that one?
Yeah, this is Mary Batch. So for our production team member, all they have to do is just be able to come to work, have good attendance and everything, and we teach them on how to do the job. And it's real easy for them to apply. So I can always give you that information later. I'll put it in the chat too on the staffing agency that we use. But honestly, that's an easier position to fill. But the key thing is the ones that we usually will lose are the ones that are not coming to work, right? They're not, their attendance is poor. So if they can actually work on maybe some of their employable skills while they're in high school, and that's the route they want to go to, I understand it. A lot of them really want to start making money now, and a lot of it's because they need to, just due to the family dynamics. That this is an excellent way of doing that, is making sure that they follow all those things when they're in high school and everything, working well with the team, good communication, having opportunities to communicate back and forth, maybe join a couple of clubs where they can actually, hone in on those skills and everything. One of the things that we could look at providing is maybe a course of something, or somebody can actually talk to the students about what they need to be able to get into that. I mean, those are really a large percentage of our workforce, about 80%. And I know that's the way it is with a lot of the companies, is that they really need somebody that they can trust to come in, and be professional, have that good attendance and everything, and we can teach them the rest of it for the assemblers and the ones that are working the line.
Amy, does that answer questions for you?
It does. We're always looking for opportunities. Like you were saying in the beginning, we're trying to change that mindset that manufacturing is not a dirty field to be in at all. And the way that we're exposing to these students is companies are actually opening their doors to us to allow our students to come in to do either on-site job shadow events or virtual events, so they can actually see it for themselves, because we can preach it all day long in the classroom, but unless they're actually awarded that opportunity, I guess, to come and see it firsthand, that's where we are seeing a lot of the buy-in from the kids on that side. And the other thing that we're doing a lot on our side for the district is there are college fairs that happen, but we also are bringing in companies and trade schools to come in to talk to the students about those opportunities. So we're always looking for ways to expose students to other industries besides what they're hearing from their parents or neighbors or that type of stuff. Maybe it's a career field that they've never thought of before. So if there's ever any companies that are willing to open their door to allow our students to come in or have internships, we really want to make it a big deal for those students and for those companies, especially if they're not going to college and they're going to work straight with like Cox Manufacturing, to really showcase what those companies are doing and how they can help students.
So you bring up a great point, right? That there's a lot of students, and that was what the academies were based on, that for those students who maybe wasn't thinking about college as their next pathway. And so we're transitioning into helping the high schools do that. So I call it Academies 2.0, where we're going to be working with high schools to help them, to help bring in the industry so that they can talk to students, to help find them those internships, and then find them jobs after they graduate from high school. So more to come on that.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Amy, just to let you know that Joyce and Safety and HEB, that they put in the chat box that they're willing to help out too. So that's great. Really appreciate that.
Appreciate it. No, anything that we can do to get companies and careers in front of students, we're all about that. So anything that we can do to help as a school district, and I'm speaking for our district, but I know other districts across the San Antonio area are the same way.
Absolutely. Michelle, do we have any other questions out there? Because if not, we'll go to the next.
Actually, Karen had her hand up.
Okay.
I don't know where she.
I lowered it. Amy kind of answered her own question. I was going to say that, with COVID numbers slowly trending down, we've been having, offering small group tours. I mean, we planned it ahead. We look, see how the county's dealing with the COVID numbers, but we've had a couple of small groups come through and kind of do a brief tour of our plant floor, just so the students can see what a manufacturing plant looks like. And we don't only just go over the opportunities on the floor. I mean, we all need finance people. We all need, of course, HR. So we kind of go all the different things that go into running a manufacturing plant, not just the floor, but, if they're interested in engineering or continuous improvement, those are different options that we go over with them when they come here. So if you want to reach out, I have a group coming at the end of October, but we can discuss.
I will definitely, I'll share my contact information, and we look for events all year round. We try to heavily get them there in October to showcase manufacturing, but we look for events all year long to get our students to. So I would definitely share my contact information with anyone. I'll put it in the chat. Thank you.
I know last year we were trying to do virtual, but I have high schoolers and a middle schooler, and they're kind of burnt out on virtual. They want to physically be there in contact. So that would be great.
Perfect. Thank you.
Ma'am.
Awesome.
Real quick, one more. Amy, so it looks like a lot of the chat stuff is for you personally or for anybody that has students. So if you'll scroll through that chat, and you can see all of our very generous manufacturers who are here, who are wanting to be a part of this and work with your students. So,
Yeah.
Bill.
information in there. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. And Bill, I thought you had something to say. It looked like you wanted to chime in.
Yeah, I was actually kind of typing in some of this on the chat as we're waiting, but we certainly offer career paths for students that come right out of high school and just really are tired of going to a full academic setting. And to be honest, someone can come in, hit the ground running. Like Jason said, if they apply themselves, if they're a learner, if they're hungry to learn, get through that apprenticeship program. It's designed to be a 3-year program. Earning 60 to 90,000 a year is very, very doable. And it's definitely a good career path. And we have more than one college graduate that came out with a degree in something like history or psychology. And they went to college because their parents wanted them to. And then they joined our apprenticeship program. And if you know what you want to do it. And the sooner you start doing it, the better off you are.
Absolutely. So, and that comes full circle. And Amy, I'm pretty sure you're being asked, well, how much money am I going to make? I think whether it be a young adult that's post high school or a high school student, there's always that question, well, how much am I going to make? And I wanted to show everybody, this is from Workforce Solutions Alamo. And this is kind of a push for manufacturing. They've got initiatives going on to tell those folks that are looking for jobs, why not think about manufacturing? There are a lot of job openings, as you can see on this chart here, and then they give an average wage of what an individual can make. And then they they even break it down to, if you're just going to be doing entry level, they give you what that average starting salary is, which is $12.56. And then it goes up with the kind of degrees that you have. And there are so many other entities that can help get that education and training to these individuals. And I really want to show this to our employers so that way they kind of got an idea of what's happening, but also to folks like Amy and other school districts and those that are working with young people and even adults that are postgraduate. This is kind of the pathway as far as for salary expectations when they come into manufacturing. But anyway, if anybody would like to have this slide, I can share that with you. Just let me know.
Ray, there's one more question, and I love this question from Jason because as the mother of 2 teenage daughters, I'm curious of what they're thinking all the time. I never know. But Jason's question is, I would be curious to know what the young adults' expectations are when entering the workforce. What type of job are they looking for? That might be for you, Amy.
Yeah, it's kind of a question back. I know
So we offer just in our district, and I know we're comparable to a lot of the districts around us. They're wanting anything and everything. A lot of students we're seeing right now want to go into the healthcare fields. And then we have a lot that are wanting to go into the engineering and architect side of it. So we do offer those industry-based certifications to the students. But the biggest, hurdle that we see is getting those students the internship opportunities to make sure that it's truly something they are interested in before they dive in to a 4-year or 8-year degree, depending on what they're needing to be. So we do tell them about the trade schools and those opportunities for them. It's kind of all over. Of course, with technology, there's a lot that we hear that they want to be YouTubers and run that route, but we have students that are all over the page of where they want. The biggest thing is we want to be able to show them the actual opportunities that are there for them. So that's why it's really important that we try to get them out to companies and invite companies to come and be guest speakers or presenters. And one of the other ways that we really work with business and industry, so you really get a firsthand of what's going on in the school districts, is any CTE program really around any state, really. They all have CTE advisory boards that they're always inviting industry to sit on. And that way you're actually evaluating that curriculum and you get to actually work firsthand with the teachers and the students about what's going on in those classrooms too. So I would highly recommend that. But kind of going back to the question about careers, they're all over. You're seeing a lot of them with the technical side in healthcare right now, though.
Understand. I just reviewing the chat box. There's a lot of great information there. Folks offering to do small tours, talk about, what young adults can look at if they want to get into the manufacturing arena. So this is really nice. So we're still going on. Has anybody got a hand up, or Michelle, is there any more questions?
Nope. I think you can on to the next.
All right, I'm just going to do this real quickly. I just want to talk about the highlights of manufacturing in our region. Just so you know, we are a $40.5 billion economic impact for the region, meaning that we're the largest industry in the San Antonio Metroplex area. We've been a major economic driver in the region for decades. It's very diverse and adaptive to changing conditions. Some of the sectors that we have is transportation. As you know, we've got Toyota, we've got Navistar coming, we've got Tesla up in Austin, we've got Caterpillar, and we've also got the aerospace industry under transportation, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, M2 Global. I mean, there's just so many companies that help make all these things happen for these industries. We also have equipment and metal products, diversified products, and materials and electricity. And these are, if you break it out, this is where we're at as far as for what's the largest sector. I said it's the transportation. That is at 32.4%, followed by the equipment and metal products, which is 24.6%. Then the diversified products, and then materials, electricities. And as we said earlier, 80% of the employees are less than 50. 80% of the companies employ less than 50 employees. And again, I mentioned that there was over 1,500 manufacturers in the region. Total employees, this is just from our economic impact study that we did in 2017. We're just showing that there's 51,904 in 2016. We're still about the same number right now, plus or minus a few hundred. Advanced manufacturing, all folks agree, all companies agree that technology has changed that face of manufacturing. There's an increased use of robotics and automation, and it's in all the four sectors that we were just talking about. And to ensure that we're going to be able to have a skilled advanced manufacturing workforce for the industry, Sam and Partners, we have great programs that we like to start off with for the young kids in the grade schools and also with teachers. And the two that I want to highlight is FIRST Robotics. If you all are aware of FIRST Robotics, great. If you're not, the FIRST Robotics program is a great program where you go into middle school, junior high, and high school, and you introduce science, technology, engineering, and mathematics into I shouldn't say curriculum, but with these young people to understand how robots work. And they make robots, and they get into problem solving and taking care of those issues there. But if your school, especially your elementary schools, are interested in FIRST Robotics, please go to FIRST in Texas and check it out. But it's a great program, and employers, I also encourage you to also sponsor robotics teams, because that helps those young people understand and get into our career in manufacturing. The other one we have, and this is for teachers, the Alliance for Technology Education, Applied Math and Science. We have a program called Teacher Externships with Industry. What this does is during the summer months, we take teachers, and there's a waiting list sometimes to get into this program, to take a week of indoctrination, if you may, or the internship with a local manufacturer to walk them through what it is to be in manufacturing. And then they have some classroom instruction as well at Region 20. And oh my gosh, pardon me. I apologize. So back to the teacher externships, there's a small stipend that's paid to them. What we ask in return is that they develop lesson plans based on how to do something in manufacturing. For example, how to make a widget. bring it to the classroom in the fall and do the problem solving and get the kids interested in making that widget and to get them interested in the STEM programs and manufacturing. It's really a great, successful program. And for more information, you can go to the A-Team's website. Well, that's all I've got. I think we got something in the chat room. Lucinda, you're very welcome. It is great information. Really appreciate it. Is there anything else that anybody wants to ask before we shut down?
I do want to add on to the teacher externship program. So I sit on the board for the teacher externships for the summer. And I will tell you that, if you can reach one teacher, imagine how many students that they reach. So getting the teachers into our manufacturing plants, we participate every year. Toyota participates, several of us participate. Just getting those teachers into the classroom and helping them understand all the manufacturing careers that are available, and then they can take that back to their students. Specifically speaking to the ones Amy is saying they may not be going directly to college. I mean, that's a great opportunity. I mean, reaching educators, they're on the ground, they're talking to these students every day. If we can get them to understand how what a great career these students can have in manufacturing, it just works out tenfold. If we can host 10 teachers and they see, say, 120 students a day, imagine the impact that could have. So I highly recommend you guys get involved in the teacher externship program. You're more than happy to reach out to myself. Also, our new chair is on this bill. You can reach out to Bill. He is leading that group now. But it's just a fantastic way. The students out in SCUC, if we could get some people involved out in that area, it would be great. So just think about that.
And that's Bill Rafferty.
And I'll just add that this next summer's program will probably be a hybrid version with some virtual as well as some on-site. We want to do as much on-site as possible. And there's also a lot of collaboration between the teachers when they're on-site. So I feel it's really a great experience. So there's my plug. So,
Mary, you have your hand raised?
I do have it raised. Thank you. I guess I've been clapping instead of raising my hand. A couple other things I want to say, just from our experience in Toyota, being part of these programs, the Alamo Academies. From the Alamo Academies, we've been providing internships every summer since 2011. And 50 of those members have actually gone through our AMT program and are now full-time employees, where several of them have moved up in the ranks into leadership positions now. So it is definitely a career pathway they can go through. Now we are exploring other P-Tech programs and things like that to expand our summer internship with high school students. So that's another thing to look at. But one of the things I want to mention here, because the program is very successful, and we actually have a 95% job offer acceptance from the students that have actually completed the program. So there's been a couple of them that left and went on to engineering, and they've actually ended up being in some good positions. One of them now is leading the Texas FAME AMT program over at Towers Semiconductor, and that is Daniel Angeles. Before that, we had Alex Brown, who also was one of our graduates that went ahead and finished his engineering degree. And we're starting to see them go out into the community and being part of that as well. But the key to this is that we have a 92% retention rate. So once they get in there, they're staying with us. And that's really key, because it is a huge investment. But the one thing that I have to say is that the lives that have been impacted of the individuals have gone through this is so powerful. We had a graduate this year that now is a full-time employee. She actually came from Mexico when she was 12 years old to live with her father. And she didn't know any English at all. So she had to learn English at the age of 12. And she went through and took all the STEM programs, went through the Academy program, and then went through the AMT program. Unfortunately, due to COVID, she lost her sponsorship with one company, but we brought her on board, and she worked so hard to graduate on time and get through the apprenticeship. It was amazing what she did. So there's a lot of perseverance there. And yes, females can do this. Absolutely. We are very proud to say that we have the highest female participation rate in Texas FAME across the nation. And that's huge. So we have a huge support thing for that as well. But that's really key to it is that, and I'm a big component on assessment. So I'm assessing these individuals that are coming through, and now they're scoring higher than our current incumbent workers, which is absolutely amazing, the results that we're getting. So I just wanted to put that plug in there for both companies and for any student that's looking at opportunities for their careers in the future.
Mary, you bring up a good point about females joining the manufacturing workforce. There is a huge increase, and SAMA is proud to announce that on the 28th of this month, to help with the our community partners and celebrating Manufacturing Month, we have a Women in Manufacturing Forum that's going to be at, I believe, at 10 or 2 o'clock. I'll get better information, but we'll be advertising. This is going to be a forum of women in manufacturing that's going to talk about what they did to get into manufacturing, all the obstacles, the challenges they got, and how everybody can be successful in careers in manufacturing. So more information to come out on that. Mary, thanks for bringing that up, because that way we can show that. If we just got something in the chat box real quick, 2 p.m. on the 28th of October. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. At this time, I want to thank Mary and Bill and Katherine and Jason and Katie as a surprise person from HEV to talk about manufacturing from your side. Thank you all so much, and also to thank all of you for being a part of our Manufacturing Day Roundtable. I think that's about all we've got. And on that note,
Ray, this is
Go ahead.
Rosie. I just wanted
Go
to
ahead,
chime in. This is being recorded, so we will be uploading this onto our YouTube account as well as onto our website. And then I was just chatting with Michelle. Everything that's been posted on the chat portion, emails and comments of what people are offering. I will be sending out a follow-up email with some of that information in that email as well.
awesome. And please, once we get this on our website, this is designed for those folks that weren't able to watch today or participate. They can now take a look at this and see what we talked about and use it for their classrooms or use it for whatever purposes. One more chat item. Thank you, Stephanie. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for participating. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Everyone.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
weekend.